Every now and then, we come across a message that feels like it was written just for us, for this very moment. That's kind of what we're diving into today. It's an invitation, but it's an urgent one that might just have an expiration date.
Okay, so this one verse, this is really the heart of everything we're talking about. Notice the language here. It's not just seek the Lord. It's seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Did you catch that? There's this built-in urgency, a sense of timing that sets the stage for everything else.
All right, so let's get right into it. An urgent invitation. But why the rush? I mean, this was written thousands of years ago. What makes it feel so immediate for us right here, right now? Well, the text itself gives us the answer.
And here's the thing. That phrase, while he may be found, it implies something pretty sobering. It means this isn't some open-ended forever offer. It tells us that this opportunity, this act of grace, it actually has a window. There's an expiration date.
And this really breaks it down, doesn't it? Look at the contrast. On the one hand, you have today, right now. God is near. The door of mercy is wide open. He's literally waiting to be found. But then you look at the other side, the future. There's a day of judgment coming, and that offer of grace, well, it won't be on the table forever. The message is just so incredibly clear. The time is now.
So if there's an invitation, it naturally requires a response from us, right? And that response is repentance. But what does that word even mean? Because the Bible is very clear here that it is way, way more than just feeling bad about something.
I love how this is laid out. It's like two sides of the same coin. First, you have forsake his way. That's the external stuff, right? The things people see, our actions, our choices, our behavior. But then, and this is crucial, it goes deeper. Forsake his thoughts. That's the inside job. It's about our motives, the stories we tell ourselves to justify our actions, the rebellion in our hearts that fuels the behavior in the first place. It's a call for a complete turnaround, inside and out.
And check out the sequence here. This is so important. Step 1 is on us. Return to the Lord. It doesn't say, clean yourself up, get your act together, and then return. Nope. It just says, return. Come as you are. And only after we take that step, look what God does. He brings the compassion. He brings the pardon. The order here is everything.
And can we just talk about that phrase, abundantly pardon? It's not just a nice little poetic term. The original Hebrew word is wow. It's not about a reluctant minimal forgiveness. It carries this idea of a flood, of multiplying grace, of something that goes so far beyond what human logic could ever expect. It doesn't just cover sin, it absolutely overwhelms it.
So that sounds incredible, right? But let's be honest, for a lot of us, that kind of overwhelming, flooding grace, it just doesn't compute. It kind of clashes with our sense of fairness or justice. This is probably the single biggest barrier for anyone hearing this invitation. And thankfully, the text addresses it head on.
And boom, here it is. This is the verse that unlocks the whole thing. It's the direct answer to that little voice in our heads that says, no way, not for me, not after everything I've done. And God's response is basically, yeah, that's because my thoughts are not your thoughts. You're trying to use human math on a divine equation, and it just doesn't work that way.
Look at this comparison. It's so powerful. On the left side, that's us, isn't it? I gotta fix myself first. I've gone too far. I just don't deserve another chance. It's all based on earning our way back. But then, look at God's side. The whole logic is flipped upside down. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Not after we got better, not when we were worthy, but right in the middle of our mess.
And that leads us to this huge, game-changing takeaway. The cross was never meant to be a reward for good behavior. It was a rescue, a desperate rescue mission for people who were completely stuck and had absolutely nothing to offer in return.
Now, if this whole idea of grace still feels a little bit abstract, there's a story that Jesus told that makes it incredibly real, incredibly tangible. It's maybe one of the most powerful stories ever told, the parable of the prodigal son.
So the story starts with the son at rock bottom. He's wasted everything, and he finally decides to go home. But listen to his mindset. He's actually practicing a speech, trying to bargain his way back in. He's hoping to get a job as a servant because he feels like he's totally forfeited his right to be called a son.
But while the son is working on his "I'm not worthy" speech, the father's perspective is just completely different. He's not waiting with his arms crossed, ready with a lecture. He's watching the horizon. And the moment he sees his son, a speck in the distance, his first reaction isn't anger. It's not, "I told you so." It's just overwhelming compassion.
And then he does something shocking, something a man of his stature would never do. The father runs. He doesn't wait for the apology. He doesn't even let the son get his rehearsed speech out. He just runs, and he throws his arms around his boy and welcomes him home. That's the picture of God's heart we're being shown here.
So after hearing all this, after seeing this incredible picture of grace, the message gets really personal. It comes down to a direct question for you and for me, challenging our own excuses and hesitations. Maybe that's the lie that's been rattling around in your head, that you've wandered off the path and you've gone so far that there's just no way back. Or maybe it's this one. Do you feel like the list of your mistakes is just too long? That the scale is tipped so far against you that you could never be forgiven?
And what about this fear? That too much time has passed. That for you, personally, that window of opportunity we talked about has already closed.
Well, to every single one of those fears, the source offers this final, powerful image. God is not a disappointed judge standing there with crossed arms. He is the Father, running down the road, eager, so eager to welcome you home.
And so we end with this promise, which really echoes that first invitation from Isaiah. The Lord is near to all who call on him in truth. The invitation is still open. The Father is still watching. And that leaves us with really only one question, doesn't it? Will you call?